Hello there, you guys, and welcome back to our Old Masters for Young Players series. So today we are on the second half of Zwei Menuette by Bach, and the link for this is in the YouTube description, and for those of you on Patreon, it's in your post for today, along with a little picture of all of my notes. So before we get started, a special warm welcome to those of you on Patreon, and of course a warm welcome to those of you on YouTube too. You're just watching this at different times. So for those of us on Patreon, I just want to encourage you, just like I did in our last lesson, for you to practice this during the month so that you can share it at our virtual studio circle at the end of the month. And our virtual studio circle is just our time to get together as a little music bubble and talk about what's been going on during the month. Sometimes like little things will come up where I want to talk to the community about having to do with music. Or something we'll have been studying in the month in lessons and everything, and I just want to do a quick little recap of anything that was particularly interesting. But it's also our time to practice holding some positive space for those of us that want to practice being in the spotlight. So it does not have to be perfect. You can just practice starting something, or you could practice playing through the whole thing if you want, or you can just say, I'm really nervous and it's going to be a mess, but I'm going to just try it anyway, and I just, what will be, will be. It's just a time to just get together, that's all. Have a cup of tea, listen to some music, have a little chat. So I just want to encourage you to work on this month, and if you like it, feel free to share it at the end of the month at our virtual studio circle. Okay, let's look at minuet number 2. So minuet number 2 is still with our 2 sharps. So F sharp, C sharp, and if we give it a scan, you can see we're on the D string, we're on the G string a little bit, and we're on the A string a little bit. So let's just recap our hand patterns. We've got this extended third, you've got your basic, and you've got your basic hand pattern, all right? The overall dynamic, once again, is piano, so it's going to be pretty quiet. So maybe we hang over the fingerboard area a little bit, very gentle, tiny little bow strokes. We've got some spiccato, which we're going to need to lift the bow for. Do these little sweet little moments like in measure 4 of minuet number 2, where the bow comes off the string. And we've also got some hairpins, so we're going to be getting a little bit louder, maybe lengthening the bow, and decrescendoing, using a little bit less bow to achieve that. At the very end, we have to go back, minuet 1 da capo, back to the first minuet, play through all the repeats again, and the end is actually where it says fine, the end of minuet number 1. Last thing before we look at minuet number 2 is that this is played with piano. And if you are having a hard time finding a pianist, there is a recital for us in the studio and on Patreon and in YouTube too. You can come to it too. It's just you're watching this a lot later, so I don't know where it will be. But our studio recital is in December. And our studio recital is a celebration of what we've learned during the year. And I have a wonderful pianist that will follow you no matter where you decide to go. And they'll make you sound amazing. And it would be fun to have you share some of these things that we've been working on this year, if you like them. If you're not really sure what to play, you actually do have this series, the Old Masters series, that are played with piano. So I will provide a lovely and fabulous pianist for you. If you're interested in participating in the recital, it's the second Saturday of December. It's always the second Saturday of December, and it's here in Pennsylvania. So send me a little email at Amber@Violin Viola Masterclass if you want to check it out, if you'd like to come, or if you want to put it on the agenda for next year. With that, let's give minuet number 2 a try. So I'm going to put the metronome at 120. That's a nice kind of dancey speed for the minuet. And even though I'm playing in the lower part of the bow, it's quiet, it's piano. I'm going to be using very little bow. Wish me luck. 1, 2, 3. before we recap, or before we leave for today, let's just recap one last little thing. Can we look at the last line of the minuet number 2? Line 3, it begins with this little A sharp, which we had in number 1, and you're coming from this. So my second finger is going to help me to find the A sharp. So it goes right behind your second finger. So let your second finger kind of be your guide for that. And I think with that, I will wish you happy practicing, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you learned something.